Glen.
We saw Tenet. I was just saying we saw Tenet.
Yeah.
I hope.
Glen.
Mike.
We all believe we'd run into the burning building. But until we feel that heat, we can never know. You do. You chose to die instead of giving up your colleagues. That test you passed? Not everybody does. Welcome to the afterlife.
Welcome back, everybody, to Keystone Film Review.
It's been a while.
But this time, it's not a podcast. It's a vodcast. This feels so weird.
It does feel so weird. We haven't done this in so long, but we saw a movie. Movies are back. Coronavirus is still a thing, but movies are back. So keep your mask on, everybody.
Don't keep your eyes covered unless you're watching the movie, too. You never know.
But yes, Regal Cinemas and other theaters opened within the past 2 weeks, and the movie that is going to hopefully save cinema has been released.
Mm-hmm.
Tenet, Christopher Nolan.
Early access as well.
Early access as well. Just say you released it. Don't call it early. You released it. You have 12 showtimes a day. You fucking released it.
We just watched it.
We just watched it in IMAX. I saw it 2 days ago.
I saw it 2 days ago.
Glenn, how do you feel?
My mind hurts a little bit.
That's how I felt the first time I saw it. The second time, you definitely get more, as is expected with Christopher Nolan.
You saw my face, like, halfway through the movie. I was good. I'm like, all right, I'm keeping up. Every little detail I'm trying to keep stored in my brain, and then some shit just started sparking off, and I was just in a different universe, talking to Gandhi and about Gandalf's staff. It was insane.
He turns to me and say, "My mind is butter."
My mind is melted butter right now.
It's one of another movie that's hard to talk about because you can't talk about it too much without getting away.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is the imagery, as is the case with Christopher Nolan all the time. He does whatever he can practically and not in computers.
Mm-hmm.
And
it really shows.
It absolutely shows. Sometimes to a fault in this.
Yeah.
Admittedly. There's parts of it where you can tell that they filmed it in reverse and then they just reverse the footage.
Mm.
But it still works, in my opinion. It's a trip.
You fucking trip, fall, stumble down the stairs, do whatever you need to. You're hurting at the end of it. Because that's what I did.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, about the end of the movie, I'm sitting there, I'm just kind of giggling to myself. Like, no matter what Nolan film you're really watching, you're always left sitting there going, it is insane the shit that he can, like, stretch your brain to think about, and, like, what he allows in a movie, what other people will just kind of give away. But you're sitting there thinking the whole time, you're processing the whole time, you're just dying the whole time. Then the movie, you're like, Jesus Christ, save me.
If you've seen it and you're not sure how you feel about it, if you can, financially and just in general, see it a second time.
Yeah.
Because the first time I watched it, I was confused. I knew I enjoyed it.
Yes.
I knew I enjoyed it for the imagery alone. But I even told Glenn coming in, I tried not to tell him too much, but I told Glenn coming in, be prepared to be confused. Because
I was good. I'm like, all right, I don't know what he's talking about. Fuck. God help.
About halfway through, it becomes really confusing. And it's one of those movies where if you miss a single line, you're probably going to miss important information.
A single line, a single detail, a single just scene, and you're processing it all. But once it's all happening, you're like, holy crap, what is all happening right now? And then it all comes to fruition, and you're like, you're already having a lobotomy at that point. So it's just,
it's got John David Washington, Denzel Washington's son,
who remarkably sounds just like him sometimes. It's insane.
Yeah. And then you got Robert Pattinson, Kenneth Branagh. I forget the one actress's name, the tall actress.
The really tall one.
It's something Galicki, I think.
Elizabeth Debicki.
Elizabeth Debicki. But John David Washington's performance, the first time I saw it, specifically when he's learning what Tenet is and everything, was kind of flat. Yeah. But upon second viewing, it's exactly how I would react with all that information.
100%.
So, like, it comes off as flat, but it's really just kind of like he's processing information, which in a way...
And it is a lot of information.
It's a lot of information. But if you're watching it and, like, 30 minutes in, you're like, oh, John David Washington's not that great. Don't worry. He's really good in it.
Yep.
But it's just... It's hard to watch someone else process information and also take in the emotion that they have while you're processing information and taking the emotion of it. I thought this was a lot more humorous than other Christopher Nolan films.
Oh, for sure. There's definitely a lot of kind of like easy one-liners that John David Washington would just throw out there.
Oh, yeah.
You just get a good chuckle.
Yeah.
What, no balls in my throat?
I've been waiting for my hot sauce for an hour.
He just randomly just threw those in, and they felt natural, which is really cool.
Definitely. He's got a great his character's got a great personality, and as serious as the situation is, he never lets it get to him, and
that's something I feel like you can't really do as much with Leo or with McConaughey or with Bale.
Yeah,
they don't have those one-liner personalities where John David Washington's still kind of new.
Yeah, so, and that's kind of how he was in BlacKkKlansman.
Yeah, so it makes sense in that way.
Yeah,
and it would actually be really funny if those were kind of his ideas.
Yeah, I would love it. One thing that was really distracting to me, Robert Pattinson's in this. He's probably second billing. He's great as usual. Twilight. Not
forget
considered. about Twilight. He's great in pretty much everything else. It was undeniable to me how much of Christopher Nolan put himself into Robert Pattinson's character, Neil. Because he looks like him, he looks like he acts like him, he talks about like the same things. Because time is always a thing with Christopher Nolan films. Even in Inception, it's like time slowing down the deeper you get in.
Yeah.
Interstellar, you age slower when you're in space. Stuff like it. So time's a very deep thing to him. So I could definitely, in this, where time is important, just see him putting himself, like, Neil is him as a character.
There's definitely a different personal role for him to put somebody in.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the same hair, dresses the same. He's British.
Dashing jawline and all the goods.
Same dashing jawline. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. Great sequences. So at the very least,
you're always going to get great sequences with him, and this for sure. During every scene, like, one scene you're watching it forwards, there's another where you could possibly be watching it backwards, and then mixed in between the two is another one. All the sequences are really cool, and that's literally all of Nolan's scenes are just always awesome to watch.
Absolutely.
And it's something super awesome to see that he can just not only like break the mold in cinema, but just fucking hit it with a nuke. and never
thermal
deatomize.
Deatomize?
He's gonna deatomize the mold.
Yeah.
Mold.
I don't know how I would rank it in other Christopher Nolan movies.
That's the thing that I've been wanting to do as well. But I have to, if I'm going to do that, I have to rewatch some of them, like specifically Interstellar and Dunkirk. I know Prestige is up there, and same with Inception and Dark Knight. But man, it's tough, especially when all his movies are basically masterpieces. It's insane.
I am probably different from everyone else, where I think Prestige is his best film. Or Interstellar. Most people would say Inception or Dark Knight, but Interstellar, I think, doesn't get as much credit because it's not as action-packed. But it's a beautiful movie about, like, loss and time and, just how growing old is kind of terrible in a way.
It's a little terrible.
And Prestige, for me, is just like, it's a masterpiece. Like, I do not know any flaws with that movie. There obviously are some, but
it's a very underrated film. But also, the people who know it's really good, they know it's up there. Like myself and Mike.
But yeah, I'm not sure where this ranks among them.
Yeah, I feel like
it's probably going to be a while before I...
Watching it a second or third time will definitely seal the deal a little bit easier, but for right now, it's kind of up there, but I don't know exactly because I got poo-poo brain right now. So
poo-poo brain. Your brain's still butter.
The only other thing was the soundtrack. You didn't really like it as much the first time?
The first time, no, but I also didn't see it in IMAX the first time. This is the first movie probably since Insomnia. I don't know who did the score for Insomnia, but every movie other from Batman Begins at least until now, the score has been done by Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
This one was Ludwig Göransson, I believe his name is. He did the score for The Mandalorian, Black Panther, Creed 2. I don't know if he did Creed 1, but he works with Ryan Coogler a lot.
Yeah.
And the first time I watched this, I definitely felt like Hans Zimmer was missing. The second time with the IMAX speakers and, you know, the bass shaking, I didn't miss that as much.
Yeah.
I still feel like the melodies Hans Zimmer would have been better, but it still fits the film more than I thought it did the first time.
It definitely felt more Hans Zimmer inspired.
Yeah.
But not his style exactly.
Yeah. It's like he went to Ludwig and was just like,
yeah,
I know this sucks to say, but do your best Hans Zimmer impression.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a really good soundtrack in my opinion. It would have been nice to see Hans Zimmer, but given what it is, it fit the mold of the movie, I think, in my opinion. And even like at the end credit scene, I think it played before as well. It just felt like a rave, and I was really into it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a rave. I did this.
I was like, shake weighting it.
But yeah, it's a really solid film. You're gonna be confused the first time. If you're not, how is your brain so fast? What cocaine do you get? Who's your cocaine dealer?
It's probably Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan probably is your cocaine dealer. Give me those digits.
Or Flower.
I got movies to pitch to him. But yeah, I would highly suggest seeing this.
120%.
As I understand it, we're trying to prevent World War III.
Nuclear holocaust.
No. Something worse.
All I have for you is a word. Tenet. It'll open the right doors, some of the wrong ones too.
You have to start looking at the world in a new way.
Don't try to understand it. Feel it.
I mean, if you feel safe going out with the corona about and movies opening up, I understand if you don't, but I definitely recommend seeing it in IMAX.
I can't speak for other theaters, but what Regal is doing is a very smart way to go about it with how they're enforcing it, more or less. I mean, obviously there's going to be flaws in everything in a situation like this, but you know,
if you feel up to it, see it.
Yeah.
Understandable if you don't want to. I'm sure it might make a comeback when all this might die over. I don't know.
With how little's coming out, I expect this to be in theaters for a long time.
So we're most likely going to have some time. Or at least you guys. We've seen it. We'll probably see it again, to be honest.
Yeah.
Who knows? But see it. That's what we definitely recommend.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll keep these videos up and not have like 2 years in between videos.
Yeah, you know, what was the last one? Deadpool 2?
The last one we reviewed, and we did a few videos for the podcast, but
jeez.
Yeah, I believe it was Deadpool 2, because someone had to move. And it was me. I moved across town.
Yeah, he went that way.
He definitely didn't go to another state.
Way over there, somewhere.
See Tenet.